Finally, folks, it's time to talk some horror coming out of TIFF this year. And this time, we're talking about A Banquet. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing the film A Banquet, which is showing at this year's Toronto International Film Festival, TIFF 2021. And also, this film has been acquired by IFC, being brought to you under the IFC Midnight category. So, with that being said, if you've been a fan of my channel, I love horror. And I'm also really high on the selections that IFC makes. So when they acquire films, I'm typically like, okay, let's see what it's about. I think they have a good resume of films that I've been very high on. And when there's films that I see that it seems to be a good fit for them, typically it ends up working out that way. So, I got a little bit of a feel, and I think that me and IFC, this is not a sponsorship, are on the same page when it comes to films that we both think are worth our time. But A Banquet now is a film that, number one, it has a all-woman led front cast, so which is always a plus in my book. This is brought to you by Ruth Patson, who's your director on here. And I gotta say that this film is super layered. There's a lot going on in this film. It's very complex, and I feel like it's channeling inspirations from a bunch of different things. And with that being said, this film can be totally hard to keep up with. And with that, I think the atmospheric horror is done really well. But with how complex the plot could be, considering that the things that it's trying to pull from, you're talking about religion and higher callings, and you're talking about eating disorders and whatnot, you have to be glued in the entire time. Otherwise, you're going to quickly lose sight of what's happening. And it also may ultimately bore or makes you lose interest, period. And you're just disengaged from the film. And I think this is a film that watching twice won't hurt. I watched it once, and I'm eager to watch it a second time, because I kind of want to see what things I kind of didn't pick up on, and kind of want to see the character developments and other little tidbits and clues that I may have missed out on. So with that being said, like, the horror is not really there. There's some scenes that are totally like, first of all, I say the jump scares that they use, when they use them and they execute them well. The horror is kind of lackluster. I wasn't too typically scared much in the film for whenever moments that they wanted to imply certain things. But when it came down to the moments where they had to kind of like generate a certain sense of like dread and whatnot, I feel like it did it well. So again, like I don't know, the film to me, I feel like the pacing is so critical in this film that for you, if you can't keep up with it, you're easily going to be thrown off tracks, and you're not going to be able to keep what's going on. And as a matter of fact, I should just bring it up right now so that you know what's going on. So you have Holly, a widowed mother. She's dealing with a daughter, her eldest daughter, Betsey, who basically is saying that her body isn't hers and it belongs to a higher calling, a higher being. So this is causing her to do very irregular things. One being not eating. And so this is being tied to anorexia, and she's losing weight. And, at some point, she starts to battle between, is this really something that has to do with religion, or is this like my daughter just rebellion against me? And that's causing all sorts of tension. Not to mention she has another daughter who's kind of caught in the crosshairs of this, and it's sending extreme episodes on both ends here. So it's just really a battle between the family and just trying to find a root of what's happening. And there's also like a little folklore. Grandma gets involved and has her, her 10 cents to add. And, it's just causing a divide between the family. So, like I was saying, like, this film does a lot to help to make you be uncomfortable. Like it truly drives on the method of discomfort. Like that's its goal. And it also, again, I think it wants you to think a lot about the different elements that are coming into this film when it comes down to, like, do you believe the daughter? Do you believe that there's a higher calling? And like, what does that look like? You know what I mean? And while it may appear for that to look like one way, do you believe it? Because it's not the conventional way when somebody says they believe in something higher. Like, at least that's what I'm getting from this, you know? And it's just a bunch of different little stuff like that this film's having. So again, the film is really complex. I do feel like the pacing is an issue, and that you could easily be, disengaged, and thus this film will come off boring. And then the horror, the jump scares, I feel like when done, is executed good, but there's not a lot of it. There's a couple of other scenes where things get really, where the special effects crew, I said they got their money's worth, where things look kind of really gross and really, some other little things, you'll see. But I didn't mind the film, but this is a film I definitely want to check out again, because I feel like I need to assess it one more time to truly know how I feel about the plot in general, because that's where my struggle's at. But performances was okay. The score was good. Cinematography did what it needed to do for this film. So I feel like the film came together well. Not a question, but the plot was really the big struggle here, because it just was pulling inspiration from a lot of different elements that could be really challenging for a viewer that think you're just watching something very flat and vanilla, and it's not, because this is playing with a bunch of different themes all in one. But yeah, folks, this is A Banquet. Check it out. Jump in the comments and let me know your thoughts about this. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews very soon.